This morning on The Dish, a little taste of India with celebrity chef Floyd Cardoz. He won season 3 of Top Chef Masters and recently opened the North End Grill here in New York City. At
North End, Chef Cardoz puts his spin on an American-style bar and grill, and he joins us with his ultimate dish, Rice-Flaked Halibut with watermelon curry. It is great to have you with us, Chef. Good morning.
So happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
This looks fantastic.
It really looks amazing.
Thanks. So I'm going to talk about the halibut first. One of the dishes that I came up with before I opened Tabla was a watermelon curry. It was my son Peter. He was 6 years old, and he was eating watermelon that day, and he asked me, he said, "Dad, do you do everything with spice in India?" And then he asked me if I'd make a curry with watermelon, and I did, and it went on my menu, was there for almost 12 years, and I may be bringing it back to my new restaurant, North End Grill, next week, because it's this freshness of summer, and it's absolutely, you know, a mix of sweet and sour and salty, and it's about how food should be. It's about excitement, it's about passion, and I think that dish speaks about it.
We were talking about ballpark food a little earlier in the show, and then you mentioned to me that this corn we can actually get at Citi Field.
I was so happy to hear that you're a Mets fan, because I
was very happy to hear that you're one too.
And you know, I have a small taqueria at Citi Field called El Verano, and we do tacos and we do corn on the cob. And when we were doing research on the corn on the cob, we went to all these Mexican restaurants.
Right.
And I saw these people eating this corn on the cob outside on the street, and I couldn't figure out why would they eat corn with mayo and cheese. Right. And I finally ate it one day, and I was blown away on how good it was. And everybody who's eating it can't imagine that something that's so simple on the streets of Mexico could be so flavorful. And corn is something that's so American.
Not what you expect to get at the ballpark, either.
Not what you expected. Everybody who gets it loves it.
I just took the plunge. It is delicious. I'm so curious to know about your background. You grew up in Bombay, studied to become a doctor, were studying biochemistry, and then you took this left turn into becoming a chef.
I always enjoyed food and cooking, never realized that this would be a career for me, because growing up in India, nobody ever thought about that. I actually read this book called, it's called Hotel by Arthur Haley. And when I read the book, I was intrigued by the whole hospitality world, went to hospitality school, but had to cook as part of the course. And I realized I was a natural in the kitchen. My first internship was in the kitchen, and after that, it was, you know, it was the best decision I ever made, because I enjoy putting food on the plate. I enjoy using, you know, like I make my mom's rice, which is, I believe when you cook, it should be about something from your soul and passion, and be happy to do it. Right. And every single day, I'm happy to cook food, happy to enjoy it with my family, with friends, even in the restaurant, because I believe if you don't put your soul in the food, you can't make that food so good.
And you've also gone out, you're a big fisherman, we hear.
I enjoy fishing. I grew up on the Arabian Sea in Bombay, and we would sneak out and go fishing against my dad's wishes. Yeah. And I go fishing with my boys out on the Sound, Long Island Sound. We catch striped bass and fluke and black bass. And I think when you catch fresh fish, it's always good, because you understand what it means to get it. You understand what it means to cook it. And catching and cooking fish, you know, I find people are intimidated. At North End Grill, we do a lot of fish. But I feel people are intimidated, but it doesn't need to be.
If you could share this meal with anyone, who would it be?
Oh boy, it would have to be with my kids, because they love food, and it's things from my past, from my future, from my present, and you want your kids to get that. Well,
I would love for you to sign this plate, Chef. We love to have our chefs come on the show, on The Dish, and sign the plate as a part of our tradition. As you're doing that, this, is it a Tamarind Margarita?
It's a Tamarind Margarita.
I'm enjoying it. Not going to lie, Floyd.
Chef Floyd Cardoz, thanks so much.